Hi guys, it's Suzanne and I've got a few deep stretches and yoga poses that will assist you for anything tight in the hamstrings and the quads as well. So if you have a block or something sturdy, it could be two books, you can bind them, tape them together. It's something to assist you so you're not overstraining or over exerting any muscles or tendons. So we'll start standing. Have the block in front of you in whatever position you're needing to. It depends on how tight you're feeling in the back of the legs. Find yourself about hip distance apart. Rock back and forth onto your toes and heels a few times. And then feel grounded down. So all four corners of the feet are just centered and down into the ground, stabilizing. Let your shoulders come up to your ears, down your back. Rest with your palms open. Let's take a few cleansing breaths. Inhale, fill up. Keep pulling that breath all the way up from the ground. Exhale, sigh it out. Relax the jaw. Let it be audible. Inhale, fill up. Then hold, exhale, sigh it out. One more time. Inhale, fill up. Just hold that breath, just suspend it. Exhale, sigh it out. Arms down by your side on an inhale. Sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, palms together right in front of the heart. So incorporate a little bend in the knees. So inhale, sweep up. Gaze can be up. It's comfortable with your neck. Exhale, come back down. And as you bring those palms down, start to bend the knees. And then inhale, open up. So a bit of a flow as we get some movement and breath. Two more times with this. Just open up, expand wide. And then just kind of waterfall it down. One last time. This time, hands come back down by your side. So soften the bend in the knee as much as you need to when we forward fold. As you inhale up. As you exhale, hinge at the hips. So soften, hinge like there's a door hinge right there. Let your hands catch the block. Inhale, flat back. So your gaze is a little bit past your mat. There's like a strain at the crown of your head. So a nice separation from the shoulders, the ears. You'll feel this in your hamstrings as well. Just breathe into this, not forcing anything. Be waking up the hamstrings, the back of the legs. And as you exhale, fold, soften the knees. So weight in the heels, belly button in towards spine. Open up the arms. Open up. And then exhale back down. So we'll do that one breath each cycle. Really try to start to heat up and loosen up the back of the legs. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, flat back. Hands can be on shins, block, or the floor. Exhale, fold. Soften again as much as you need to. Open. And release down. This time, take the arms forward. Inhale, sweep up. And then exhale like you're diving forward, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then reverse, sweeping the arms forward. And then back down by your side. So one more time. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then from there, come on to your hands and knees. Tabletop. And we're going to bring our right foot forward, the right side of your mat. Make sure your knee is not over your toes. And let your hips sink. Working into anything in the quads. You can tuck the back toes to get an arch stretch. And then here, inhale, sweep the arms up. Arms up towards the ceiling. But let the shoulders drop down so they're not up to the ears. Take your right hand on your right hip. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, sway over to the right, opening up the side of the body. Back towards center. Hands come down on the inside of that leg. Bring that foot back and switch sides. Let yourself adjust into this. Bring a little bit of movement. Helps maybe get you better into a space to stretch. So once you're there, sweep the arms up. Reaching up, and then exhale, let the shoulders drop down so they're not up to the ears. Left hand to left hip, inhale, reach up, and then gently sway over. Release that down. Guide that foot back. Then we're going to slowly hinge forward, come down onto our bellies. So tops of your feet press down, all 10 toes press down into the mat. Hands right underneath your shoulders, elbows in by your side. Strong, active legs, kneecaps engaged, quads engaged. Inhale, just peel the chest up just a little bit. Last thing that comes up is your gaze forward, and then exhale, slowly come back down. We'll do that 3 more times. Getting a little bit of a stretch in the back. And last time. See if you can just hold that few breaths. And then exhale, release. Tuck the toes, press up. So bring your upper body up and tuck the toes. Hands, inhale, sweep them up. And then as you exhale, place your hands either right, like you're placing your hands in your back pockets, fingertips pointed down, elbows in. In fact, let's just start there at first. So feel that opening in the chest, the heart. One more breath. And then exhale, release. Tops of your feet press down. Now, if your quads are really tight and it's too much to come back resting onto your heels, first, if you want to warm up with it, take a block or a blanket or a pillow and just sit down. I like to just gradually warm up to this, depending on how tight the quads are. So you're working with some edge of discomfort, but it's not causing you pain. So that's when you just bring that breath, take a moment, go inward. Maybe close your eyes if you're comfortable. And exhale, sigh it out if it's really tight in that space. Just 2 more breaths here. And then go ahead and shift forward. So we'll come back to that in a few minutes, but we'll warm up a little bit more with the hamstrings and the quads by pressing up into downward facing dog. So finger spread wide, more weight in between your thumb and index finger, about hip distance apart. Tuck the toes. So keep a softened bend in the knees. We're going to work into this down dog, pedaling out. You can lift 1 foot at a time, or just 1 heel at a time, pedaling. So you want to keep an alignment of a straightened back. Don't worry about bending your knees. And then nod the head yes and no. There's no tension in your neck. Strong arms, wakening up sensation in the back of the legs and the hamstrings. So take a deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. So we'll start to walk our hands forward. And then soften in the knees. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, bring your arms down. So we're going to take the block in our hands. We're going to take wide straddle. Our right foot turned out. Bring your arms up. Inhale, exhale. So you hinge forward to the right and take that block in any position to the outer part of that hip or out that right foot. Keep that hand on there. Soften a bend in the knee. You don't want to hyperextend and overcompensate anything you're feeling in your hamstring. Hand can be on your hip at first. So you feel that it's like your back is pressed up against a plane of glass. And then take that left arm up towards the ceiling. So that shoulder expansion, that chest expansion, gaze can be up at that extended left arm or down, whatever you're comfortable with. Just forward works as well. Breathe here. One more breath. Place that left hand on the hip, put a bend in that knee, pick up that block. Turn your right toes in. Extend your arms out. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Switch that block to the left hand. Take those left toes to the back end of that mat. Inhale as you reach like someone was pulling you to the left side. Place it on the outside of that left foot. Soften the bend in the knee. Place that right hand on your right hip. So you're opening up your chest like one plane of glass. Let the hand catch. And you feel comfortable to really open up that expansion in the chest and the arms and shoulders. Take that right arm up. Breathe here. It's the deep stretch, a strong, full body stretch triangle pose. 2 more breaths here. So come out of it, right hand on the hip, soften the bend in the knee, bring yourself back up. You can take that block if you'd like in front of you, or if you don't need the assistance in the block, you're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. So keep that straddle pose. Both feet are facing forward. And then you're going to hinge, hinge, hinge forward. Let your hands catch on the block or the ground. And take that left hand right in front of your face, press down that palm to the earth, and then sweep that right arm up. So you'll feel this deeper inside of your thighs. And a gentle twist, and then switch. Inhale, exhale, sweep that arm up. Hands on your hips, strong legs, strong core, belly button towards spine. Bring yourself up and heel toe your feet closer. So we're going to do a forward fold again, feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, soften the bend in the knees. Then exhale, hinge, hinge, hinge. You can use the block or the ground or your shins at this point. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then gently come down. Tuck the toes. Bring your torso upright. And go into a deeper camel stretch. So you can place your hands again. If you're placing them in the back pockets opening up in the shoulder and the chest. If you want to go a little bit deeper, first take a deep inhale. As you exhale, let that right hand catch your right hip, your right heel, left hand catch your left heel. And then you just want to breathe here. Try to release some tightening in the glutes. Gaze up if it's comfortable with your neck. Just not straining anything. One more breath. And then slowly come out of it. Release one hand at a time. Tops of your feet press down. So we'll go back into that hero's pose and just slowly bring your hips, your glutes to your heels. Again, if you're still needing the assistance of the block, just don't stop with using that. So start to feel the release in your quads. Breathing here, shoulders, up your ears, down your back. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. One more breath. And shift forward. So we're going to extend our legs out. Hands by right by your hips. Flex your feet. If your hamstrings are really tight, soften the bend in the knees. So it's an active pose. Breathing here. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and as you exhale, hinge forward. So you can use a strap. You can just let your hands rest on your shins, or you can take your peace fingers around your big toes. And I like to sometimes kind of shimmy and lift up one hip and the other, and work my way into this. And when I start to lose that flat back, I'll bend the knees a bit. So you don't want to lose that. So first, inhale, belly button in towards spine, and exhale, go ahead and hinge to where you're at. Breathing into it, not forcing anything. Deep stretch here, guys. Just honor what you're feeling. And then just like we do with standing, draw your belly button in towards spine, bring yourself upright. So you want to go ahead and take the hands back behind, about 18 inches, fingers pointed away. So you're going to go ahead and lift your hips up. Your feet are flexed. If you feel comfortable enough, you want to go ahead and start to point the toes and lift the hips a little bit higher. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Strong arms, strong legs, lifting up. And then ever so slowly bring yourself back down. Shake out your wrists. Other directions. So go ahead and bend your right knee. Bring the right sole of the foot on the inside of that left leg. So that knee is bent. So again, this is going to incorporate a twist. And what we're going to do is inhale the right arm up towards the ceiling. The left hand's going to come out. And then you're going to reach on the outer left part of that foot. And if it's just reaching the shin or the ankle, that's fine. Because you're twisting. Breathing into this. This is a deep stretch right here. And sometimes if you let that buoyancy, the fluidity of your inhales and exhales, kind of let that bring you closer to a deeper stretch. And then slowly come out of it again. Always protecting that lower back. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Straighten that leg. I'm going to shake it out. And we'll bring the left sole of the foot with that leg bent. Right hand just to the right side, kind of as an anchor. Inhale, exhale. Bring that left hand somewhere to the outside of that right foot, that ankle. So you're twisting and turning over a bit to that leg. Let your inhales and exhales give you a little buoyancy and fluidity in that. Beautiful. Bring yourself back up. Bend in the knees. Feet out wide. Kind of windshield wiper the leg side to side. And slowly bring yourself all the way down onto your back. So knees together. Feet out wide. So releasing the psoas in the lower back. Few breaths here. And then separate the knees and let the knees fall to the left. Take your right hand, arm up. So it's above your head, like you're reaching your fingers away. And then that left hand is somewhere on that outer left hip. So you're kind of pulling that down. Feel this deep stretch. Breathing into the side of the body, releasing in the hip. And slowly bring the knees back up. Let the knees come in, fall in for a moment. Kind of realigning the spine. And then go ahead, inhale here. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. This time that left arm is reaching overhead. So long stretch from the left side of the body. And that right hand is somewhere on that right hip. Just a little bit of pressure, pulling that down, twisting here. Breathing into this. And then release that arm, release your hands and bring the knees in towards the chest. Rock side to side, massage out that lower back. So we'll do a few bridge lifts, bridge pose, really releases in the lower back. So go ahead and keep a bend in your knees, about hip distance apart, and see if your fingertips can graze your heels. It's about a good alignment for you. So you can press your palms down into the earth, weight in the heels. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale here. So keep your gaze up towards the ceiling. Try to keep from turning your head, which puts strain on the neck. If you want to roll the shoulders underneath, you can clasp your hands, kind of pulling the shoulders up underneath, and it actually elevates and lifts you a little bit higher. So weight in the heels, strong quads, strong legs, lifting you up. There's some tightness in the glutes, but try to keep from having all of the tightness right there in the glute. Just don't doubt the strength of those legs to keep you elevated and up. Let them do the work. Wherever you're at, 3 more breaths here. If your hands were clasped, slowly unclasp them, let the shoulders roll out, and then just one vertebrae at a time. Take your time bringing yourself all the way, tailbone back down. Your feet heel toe them all the way to the sides of the mat. Let your knees fall in again. So extend the legs out, point the toes, interlace your fingers, take your arms up overhead. Take a deep inhale. Someone pulling you in 2 directions. Feel that stretch and exhale. Sigh it out. So we'll do that again. Inhale. Being pulled away. Feel that. Exhale. Sigh it out. So you have the option to stay there in Shavasana in a resting pose. Maybe you do some few more deep cleansing of breaths and bringing you down and centering. And I hope that helped with a bit of a stretching in your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes and anything for your lower back as well.